Be brave, cat. Be brave. All the things you have to say.
How was your week?
My week was it was okay. I had an incident and I've been having some issues, and I'm not sure if it's heart related. We're trying to figure it out right now. So I have like these palpitations and rapid heartbeats that happen randomly, and they've been pretty scary. They like elevate my blood pressure. And I start feeling dizzy, and I start feeling like I'm gonna pass out. I start feeling nauseous. And I'm about to get my drink.
Okay.
Hey. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
So have you been to the doctor, Kat?
Yes. So on Saturday I had an episode, and I got just out of nowhere. I was playing with my son in the living room early morning, and then my heart just started racing, and I started feeling nauseous and dizzy. And so I contacted my friends, and I said, hey, can you guys check up on us in like an hour, see if we're okay? And one of my girlfriends came over, and she has a heart situation that sounds very similar to what I'm going through. And she had to have heart surgery, just a minor heart surgery, but still heart surgery.
Oh my God.
To have that corrected. So I talked to my doctor I got an appointment on Tuesday, on Monday with my doctor. And then yesterday when I was at work, I got another episode, just kind of happened. And so luckily I work at a clinic. My doctor's there, so she was able to see me on the spot. And yeah, so they took my blood pressure, and at first it was like 180 over 120.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then from there it kept going down. I took my anxiety pill, and it went down. But yeah, so she ordered a heart monitor, and she's ordering a visit with the cardiologist, and then because I have all the resources there. A therapist came in and wanted to know if I was dealing with anxieties and any issues at home. And I said, the only thing I can really think about is I went through a breakup, early March, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what's affecting me, or if this is anxiety triggered, or if it's heart triggered.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure it out at this point.
Yeah, well, it's good they're sending you to a cardiologist, because as you probably know, panic attacks, similarly, it's very difficult to tell if it's still panic or if it's an actual heart thing, because it seems very much like a heart thing when you have a panic attack.
Right. And I'm thinking, I'm frustrated because if it is a panic attack, and if it's related to this, I don't know what to do I know that I honestly feel like this affected me more than I'm saying or I'm putting out there, but I don't know what to do to get over it or move past it.
Have you let yourself have feelings about it? Have you cried or screamed or have you been processing it?
I've cried here and there from time to time, but I don't know if I'm suppressing it, or because I guess I do tell myself, like, okay, you're stronger than this, move past it, kind of thing. I don't just go with it, but I don't know if that's enough to be triggering panic attacks. I don't know. I'm so confused.
Yeah, because it seems like all along your panic has been pretty random.
Yeah.
Which means that, that's not common.
And so I'm just
you
trying to
know.
figure it out. And I don't know. Just, I mean, I honestly, speaking my truth, this did impact me way more than I let on. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I still have a lot of whys, you know, and I'm not gonna get those answers, so I'm trying to just heal on my own.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what's triggering it, but yeah, I'm pretty hurt by
Well,
it.
and well, my gosh, yeah. I remember when you first came back, you were so excited. He was coming out in 2 weeks, and he wanted to be a dad to come. You have levels of loss.
I was thinking to myself, like, okay, why is it so impacting you so much? It was embarrassing. Like, I was proud of this relationship. Like, I really felt like him and I had this connection, and I think I feel like we were gonna be great for each other. And I don't know, I felt like I was proud of this relationship. Like, I trusted it. Like, it was gonna go somewhere that was gonna be more sustainable than any other relationship I've been in, you know? So
Right.
I allowed myself to tell my friends. I allowed myself to tell my ex-husband about him. I allowed myself to tell Michael about it, you know? So I was kind of like showy and sharing and excited. And as a matter of fact, we had a surprise dinner for him planned he was gonna arrive like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. So we had a surprise dinner on that Friday with all my friends and their partners, planned for him to welcome him to California. And then that just sideswiped me, and it was so embarrassing to have to tell everybody that all of a sudden he was no longer in my life. He was just gone. He'd gone silent. And it's just, I don't know, it's hard to process. I don't know why he lied so much. Like, there's so many lies on top of lies that I discovered, and they don't make any sense to me. Like, there was no need to lie about some things that he just lied about. And like his job, the job that he claimed that he had, that he got hired in November for. When I spoke to the lady, thinking that I was going to reach him, she told me that he hadn't worked there for like 2 months. And so that would have been January at the time. So that means he only worked there 2 months. Because it sounds like he did work there. But according to him, he got hired in November. So I don't understand. Like, did he get fired, or did he quit? Or I don't know. But why would he went out of his way to tell me the day that he was supposed to put his 2-week notice, and he supposedly had 2 jobs. He told me that afternoon, I remember, that he hadn't been able to put his 2-week notice with this job, the main job, because he had to do that online with HR. And so he was going to do that the next day. But it turns out he didn't even have that job anymore. So I don't understand why he would go that far to lie, if he could have just very well said, oh yeah, I put in my 2-week notice, knowing that it was a lie anyway. So I don't get it. I have like all this, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what can make it so hard to process, is because you don't understand it, you don't have the answers. And I mean, you mentioned it was embarrassing, but have you had anger?
I've had anger. Oh yeah, I was very angry at first.
Yeah.
I was very angry, and I let him know. One of my girlfriends, I remember her telling me, you have the right to let him know how he's making you feel. And so
absolutely,
I took that, I ran with it, and I told him, I told him a lot of things. I even cursed him. I mean, I was very angry at, this is the first and hopefully the only time that anyone's ever not only mess with me, but mess with my son. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of that was really painful and just, it's nonsensical. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, you feel like if you could talk to him, that would help? If so, what would you want to say to him?
Oh, wow. Why, I guess.
Yeah.
Why would he do that?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just so hurtful,
Yeah.
from somebody that you thought loved you.
Yeah.
That's what really messes with your mind. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't make any sense of it. So, maybe, and are you getting good sleep, Kat? I mean, that's always something, too, that can increase anxiety is if you're not getting good sleep.
I'm trying. I'm
Here
and there. I get about 6 hours. If I have a Fitbit now and I'm wearing it, and it tells me how long I've been asleep and how restless I was that night and how many times I woke up, and
oh my God.
yeah, it gives me a lot of details and information, and it's I guess I was fidgeting or restless like 13 times, and I woke up like a total of like 7 different times, and so I got a total of 6 hours of sleep counting all of that.
Oh, I see.
It tells you how long you've been actually asleep versus all the restlessness and everything.
Oh, I see. So that's a tough one, when you're struggling with getting good sleep. Sometimes it's tough to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you have a little relaxing bedtime routine that you do to kind of calm yourself before you try to go to bed? Or
I do, yeah. Listen to some meditative kind of music, and put baby to bed first, get him ready, and then do everything I have to do, and then go to bed myself. I've been trying to go to bed a lot earlier than usual, and hopefully read in bed and then go to sleep. So that's the main goal. I haven't been too successful at that because I get distracted. But at least I'm in bed by I'm in bed. Yesterday I was in bed by 9:30, which is super early in my world, but I'm trying something different.
Well, good for you. You know what I mean? It all is interconnected. You know what I mean? Or sleeping, or eating well, getting exercise, fresh air.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're doing. Are you been able to get out on the weekends with Ty and get some walking in? Or
I bought an elliptical and I'm putting it together. But that was one thing that I mentioned to my doctor, is that I love walking, and then just walking lately, it makes me feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Oh.
Yeah, so just like I start getting like shortness of breath, and I start my heart starts racing, and so I'm not sure. I'm nervous about eating. I'm nervous about working out. I'm just kind of scared.
Kind of on edge.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea when we'll get in with the cardiologist?
I have an appointment for May 12th.
Oh, May 12th.
Yeah.
That's a good day.
Yeah. So I was just like thinking, wow, this situation really did break my heart. I mean, I don't get it. This guy was there present when, like, after just right after the whole Kevin thing, he was present for that. So he was present to see some of my emotional struggles that I went through. He knew that I was pregnant and alone, and I went through a lot of that stuff, hence why he was like reaching out to me and talking to me about things. And and just being a part of my life. And I mean, this guy knew my cousin. He knows some of my family, you know. So it's just, you know what I've been through. You know my family. Like, how could you do this to this horribleness to us?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I'm just some random woman he met at a bar. You know, there was quality to our relationship, and I just don't understand.
And at some point you said to him, I think you said sociopath. Are you a sociopath?
Right. Yeah.
You know, what led you to ask that question?
Just the fact that he didn't seem to tune in emotionally, like in an appropriate response to things. It just seemed like he was kind of dense and not connecting in an emotional kind of way to certain things. And I was like, what's going on there? There's not an alignment here, and something's off.
Yeah. Now, when you were talking with him, and like you said, you know, he was there with, you know, the thing, you know, Kevin and all that. I mean, were there times when he seemed empathetic or compassionate? I mean, was he able to, I mean, he must have had, I mean, I don't know, he must have, I mean, it seems like he would have had, you know, because you talked to him for a long time, a couple years before you even kind of, you know, got talking to him more.
Right.
I mean, did he have those emotions here and there? Or?
I want to say he did. And that's why I feel like he's not a psychopath, but more like a sociopath, if anything. Like, because he could tap into those emotions, and, you know, he could be sweet, and he could be tender, and he could be attentive, but I don't know, just not tuned in.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I said. Do you feel like those were real emotions, or do you feel like it was just,
you know,
going through the motions?
That's interesting that you ask me that, because sometimes I feel like he was going through the motions.
Yeah.
I feel like he was going through the motions, or he was mirroring mine.
Right. And that's fairly common with some people, sociopaths. You know what I mean? That they do just mirror, because they don't really feel it, but they're smart enough to know, this mirror.
Yeah.
You know, they know the right things to say and do, even though the emotion may not be there.
Right. And I remember a few times thinking to myself, because, you know, the previous experience before him kind of tuned me into it. And a few times me thinking, that seemed kind of fake. You know, like I would catch it, like that seemed kind of rehearsed, or not rehearsed, but it didn't seem genuine.
Yeah.
But then there were other times where he did seem genuine. So I feel like he turned it on and off, you know, like it wasn't always there for him.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, usually people have some pretty, you know, significant red flags if they're going to ask somebody that they're dating, in particular, are you a sociopath?
Right.
You know, so it's like, there were some red flags, but then he was, the majority of the time, I guess, able to cover all that up, but you just got little glimpses of it.
I got glimpses of it, and I genuinely wanted to believe that he was a nice guy, you know, and maybe just a bit slow in the whole relationship department, because it's been a while.
Yeah.
So maybe I was just dismissing things.
Yeah. So if I were him on the phone right now, what would you ask him? I mean, the why, but I mean, would it get more specific than why, or just simply why?
Why? Why did you do everything? Why did you go about all of it this way?
Yeah.
Why would you lie? Why would you lie? Why would you stop talking to me. Why would you let me go through that process? You know how hard it is. I mean, he knows a lot. I opened up to him. He knows some of the things that I've been through in my life.
Yeah.
And I told him at one point when I realized that this is what he was doing, I told him, if you want to break up, let's talk about it, but don't do this to me because you know that this is not a good thing for me.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't get it. For all I know, he changed his number because I never got a response to any of it. And I feel like he should have replied to some of the things that I said to him.
Yeah. And you haven't noticed that he's been back on your Instagram or anything?
Well, he has to. I have to approve anybody that's on there, so.
Oh.
He wouldn't just be able to get back on.
Oh, I see. So you don't, even if you wanted to, you don't really have a way to connect with him at this point?
No way. It's like he disappeared.
Yeah.
And who does that? But someone that's just not right in the mind, that mental health issues.
I'm not saying there isn't some extraordinary explanation for this that you or I can't think of, but I mean, barring that, it just seems like it's mean and cruel and insensitive and all those negative things.
Yeah. And I just want to get over this.
How much of the time do you think about this?
A little bit every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's decreasing?
Yes.
Over time?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I do feel like it's decreasing. I mean, I still obviously don't have any questions answered or anything, but at least I feel like it's not hurting as much as it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did have like a cry yesterday, and that was kind of a random thing. I don't know if it's just stress that's making me cry, or I don't know. I am hurt. Loss.
You know, a lot of people cry and they experience a loss, and like I said, you lost your relationship with him, that you lost the idea of the family, you lost, the father figure for your son. It's multi-level loss.
Yeah.
If you were just a single person dating, then
right.
Primarily you're lost, what I mean? But that, as you know, now being a mother, that you feel the pain for your child.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I can only imagine how painful that'd be when, Mikai was interacting with him, on the whatever FaceTime or stuff like that, calling him Dada.
Exactly.
And Chris was, saying that I want to be his dad. And
right.
There's just so many levels of lies.
I mean, I still can't get over the fact that he helped me name this child. Like there's that middle name of his that there was a name that Kevin wanted me to use, and I was not about to use it because, well, one, he wasn't in my life, and two, he wasn't going to have that kind of anything over my child. Yeah. And then when I met Chris and I started getting comfortable with him and stuff, I remember that day. It's like, I'm really a hippie at heart, and I'm going to go really far down the rabbit hole when it comes to hippie names if I don't get someone to bounce some ideas off of. And he was there for me. He was there for me for hours that day. And we went through different names. I even told him, everybody thinks it's I'm weird because I don't watch Star Wars, but I like the name Anakin. And he was like encouraging me, like, you can use that name. Everybody tells me never to use that name. And so I mean, I remember those conversations that we had, and last minute I see this name, and And I'm like, oh, that's pretty. And he said, that's my favorite color. And I said, yeah, me too. That's like my color spectrum. And I said, well, it's too bad because it doesn't come with a K. And then one of the alternatives was, and I was like, yes, there it is. So I remember that whole conversation, him being a part of it. And just, I don't know, it's just like, how do you bond with someone like that and then just throw them away?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, as hurtful as it is, I mean, that you know, it may not have been as real for him. He wasn't being honest.
Yeah, clearly, huh?
Yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah.
Because he's nowhere to be found.
I would be okay with him telling me that he got scared and that he just screwed everything up. I would be okay with him telling me that. It would probably just make me feel better. Like, okay, because I understand that I was scared. And but you know, I'm a Leo, so I'm like, I'm scared, but I'm gonna dive into this because I know intuitively I know this is gonna be an awesome experience, you know. But he's not like that, and I know that, and I remember this, and it haunts me. Actually, I remember him telling me a few times, I'm afraid that you're not gonna want me. I'm afraid that you're not gonna want me. I'm afraid that you're not gonna want me. He told me that a few times.
Yeah.
And I couldn't convey to him in words that wasn't the case. That wasn't me. That I committed to being in this relationship. That I wasn't gonna. I don't know how he meant that. I wasn't gonna just take a look at him and say, oh, never mind, I changed my mind. Like, I was committed to it. So I'm not sure if his own insecurities got in the way. But it still doesn't justify the fact that he hasn't replied. He hasn't sent a message, especially with a pandemic. You would think that, okay, I'm going to put all BS aside and reach out to her. This is getting serious, you know? I'm going to make sure they're okay.
Well,
Nothing.
Yeah. I'm so sorry he hurt you so badly. So yeah, I would just keep trying to, journaling about it. Might be, something that might be helpful.
Yeah.
Not really any way to reach out to it, not that you haven't already done that.
I've done way too much. Yeah, I can't keep doing that. I mean, I can't anymore, but even if I could, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
My ex-boyfriend. I swear, I run into him everywhere here in town.
What was that?
I run into my ex-boyfriend everywhere in this town.
Oh. You talk anymore?
I'm sorry?
Have you talked to him? So?
My ex-boyfriend?
He's Ethiopian?
Can you say that again? I think you broke up a little bit.
Oh, you had talked to this one fellow. Was he from Ethiopia? Was he Ethiopian?
Oh, the Dominican?
Oh, Dominican. Yeah, the Dominican.
I actually have. This weekend, I found myself chatting with him. Like, he got me to talk to him, and I've been kind of standoffish with him. We started talking, and I actually found myself asking him questions. I was curious, and I asked him. One of my questions was, how did you get here? How did you end up in Crescent City? And it's funny because his response to that was, you manifested me here.
Oh my gosh.
And it's because I told him that like 3 weeks prior, just randomly. We were talking very little, and I said I had manifested him here, and I told him that story. that I asked the universe for a Dominican. And so he remembered. He mentioned that. I was like, oh, okay. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, he's got a good sense of humor.
Yes, that's nice.
Yeah.
We actually ran into each other at the when I went out. We ran into each other at the bar, and he said that was his first day out. He doesn't have any family or friends here. I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, his goal, I asked what his goals were. He said his goal is to get himself out of the Dominican Republic, and he has a work visa right now. But the motel that he came to work for closed. So he is still staying there, but if he can't figure it out by June, he's going to go back.
Oh.
So, in essence, I think he needs a visa wife. I'm starting to get the impression.
Yeah.
I told myself I would never date another guy from another country ever again. A Canadian was enough.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay on that.
Yeah. Well, at least shows us somebody to even have a distraction with, to chat with, you know.
Yeah.
Pass some time and get your mind off of, you know, what in the heck went south with Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's there loving my pictures on Facebook and telling me that we need to meet up, and so we'll see. I need to get to know him a lot more before I even decided to even be okay with. Actually, as I was driving right now to talk to you, to call you, I saw him walking down the street, and I was like, oh my God, there he is.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, if it's meant to be, it'll be.
Yeah, no. Save. Just
Cat's like, right.
Yeah. I just don't want any trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you need some good stuff going on.
Yeah. My doctor called me adorable today, so that kind of made me happy. I thought that she's the sweetest doctor ever. I love her.
Well, I see it's about 1 o'clock, Kat.
Yes.
You need to get back in.
Yeah, it's getting around that time.